Hey YouTube, it is Seven Deadly once again, and it is time for a long overdue video update. Um, I don't know if I should rant or just tell everybody what's been going on in my life or what, as if anyone really gives a shit. But I've had a lot happen in the past couple of years. Um, as a lot of my Facebook friends know, Facebook has been basically my major place where I've been keeping in touch with people, that sort of thing. I have a few other sites that I keep in touch with people, but other than that, Facebook's been the main one. The majority of them in my list know what's going on. Um, 2 years ago, we were living in a bad roommate situation, if you will. And, well, during that process, we moved. And, God, lo and behold, I got knocked up with Shari, my little girl. And she was born early. She was born premature, 2 months early. You would not know that to look at her now because she's a little fatty. But I went through hell. Basically, we went through a bad roommate situation, then a good roommate situation, then back on our own again while I was pregnant with Shari, only to have complications with the pregnancy, severe complications this time. And then 4 months after I gave birth to my daughter Shari, which was a C-section, emergency C-section. And after dealing with the hellacious year we had, my mother passes away. And this was a long time coming. You know, it wasn't like my mom just suddenly died. My mom was in a hospice. I took care of my mother for years. And pretty much because I don't have a nursing degree, I did not go far enough in medical training. The courts decided that she needed to be in a nursing home. Because she was in a nursing home, that's what wound her up in a hospice, everybody. And I'm going to tell you, yes, my mother's health was bad off. Very bad off. She had many strokes, many heart attacks, and still survived. She had dementia. She had Alzheimer's. Numerous health problems, diabetes, interstitial cystitis. The list goes on and on and on. But my mother passed away 4 months after Shari was born. Or, excuse me, after Jake was born. See, this is how much stuff's happened. I'm getting everything mixed up. My little girl, 4 months after I had her, I get pregnant. Let me get this straight. It's a lot, folks. 4 months after I had her, I get pregnant again with my little boy Jake 4 days after my mother dies. There. Now we got it right. I like to refer to my kids as phases of how they were conceived. Kira was a drunken weekend that I don't really remember. Shari was a photo shoot. And Jake was I just wanted a hug. So that's how I've got my little bundles of joy. But I honestly wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't. But okay, we're up to I'm pregnant again with Jake. We go through having my mother's memorial, which was a couple of weeks late after she died. Then, lo and behold, after the memorial, I find out I'm pregnant. Me and my brother talked about this. My brother was not happy about it because due to the complications with Shari, I developed a serious heart condition. It seems to run in our family. I have cardiomyopathy, which is, for those of you who don't understand, that's heart failure. And it developed during my pregnancy with Shari. Keep in mind, I've always had a bad heart. I have a heart murmur, dime-sized hole in my heart. Was born with it. Nobody really knows about it because I don't really go around telling people all the time and shit like that because I'm a closed up motherfucker most of the time. But some more FYI. 4 months, we are dealing with fours here, but 4 months after my mother dies, 2 weeks before my brother passes away, my old man is in a serious car accident. He ran his patrol car. He was working security, and he was a patrol officer. He run his car through a concrete wall, which a lot of you don't know about. Run it through a wall. Totaled out the patrol car. They had to get him out. He had, his neck was sore. That was it. If any of you have seen my old man, you would see why he didn't get hurt. His bone density is just fucking phenomenal. He has never really had a broken bone in his life. He has had a broken rib. But aside from that, nothing else broke, nothing like that. I'm rambling because I'm tired. Anyway, he runs that into a rock wall, concrete, all that good stuff on the interstate because he hydroplaned during a rainstorm. An hour before it happened, I called him and my brother because I was worried something was going to happen. This is 2 weeks to the day before my brother passes away. Keep in mind, of the same thing that I have, same thing with my mother. My mother, essentially on the coroner's report, it is heart failure. She died in her sleep, the hospice. But I get the phone call 2 weeks later. Me and my brother, I called him that night and talked to him and asked him, I said, "Are you okay?" He sounded really tired. Just, he sounded wore out. Keep in mind, he also worked the cardio ward at St. Thomas. He got his degree and all that to be able to work there. And he was really, really proud of it. And I was really, really proud of him because he accomplished that. And I talked to him. He said, "I'm really tired." And I said, "Hey, are you okay?" I said, "I got one of my bad feelings again." I said, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then about 1 week before he died, he come over because our car was broke down. Yet something else that happened. Our car was broke down, and quite literally, he was like, "I'll come over there and I'll take you to go grocery shopping." Keep in mind, at this point, I'm very pregnant with Jake and on complete bed rest at this point. I'm not even supposed to be up out of the bed, but I'm a mom. I got stuff I have to do. That's absolutely mandatory, that just sometimes it isn't a good idea to let your guy go do it. So I go to the grocery store with him. Him and his girlfriend Missy picked me up. He got to see Kira. He got to see Shari. And, you know, he was just commenting to me like 2 nights before text messaging about how fast your kids grow up. And he said, "You better appreciate it because you never know when, you know, it could be your last second, your last time with somebody." And it was so weird us talking about that. Just so weird. Anyway, to make a long story short, too late, he died. And I find out on Facebook that my brother was in the hospital and that he had a heart attack. He was in the hospital for 2 days, and they came back with the results. And my mind is kind of foggy on a lot of this, but they came back with the results, and he had 80% brain damage. And a lot of bullshit ensued after my brother died. A lot, which I'm not going to get into because I don't want to get upset thinking about it. But let's just say a lot of bullshit family fucking drama that should have not happened, which did anyway. I went again. 2 weeks later, he has a memorial service finally. And I go to the memorial service for him and everything. And the only thing at this point, and I'm going to let all y'all know this, is the only thing I'm thinking about at this point is my nephews. That's really the only thing besides my own kids that I can think about. You know, what about Tyler and Aaron? What about, how are they feeling? Because I lost my dad at a very young age, so I know what it is to lose a parent. I know what it is to lose one old and young. So I'm thinking about my nephews. I'm thinking about my niece. I'm just, and the only thing that's getting me through all of this is my pregnancy with Jake, believe it or not, as hard as hell that it was. It was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare and a half. I did have the love and the support of my old man with me during that, but he's never really lost anybody like that, so he didn't know how to act toward me during any of it. And I didn't completely lose it. I think mainly the only thing I did was I just shut down that side of myself mentally. I did not really grieve either over my mom or my brother. I shut down for the sake of my pregnancy. I backed off from a lot of the people that were involved. I had to because I was threatening to lose Jake every other day at that point. I mean, I was bleeding, which a lot of people don't know about. I was constantly bleeding during that pregnancy. Every time I got up, I was bleeding. The stress on my heart was making it difficult, very difficult to function. So I shut down and I didn't really talk about it. And I would just post like happy things on Facebook, like, for example, their favorite songs and stuff like that. And that's how I coped. That's how I dealt with, because I had babies to think about. I also had my nephews to think about, because I loved him as my brother, but a lot of you don't understand. He was not only my brother, but he was also a father figure to me. He helped raise me. My brother was older than me. And, of course, when my dad died, he kind of took up the slack in that regard. And me and my brother were basically the opposite of night and day. If any of you have seen pictures, you'll know what I'm talking about. But then again, our humor was the same. Anyway, then after my brother died, well after, we got moved again, established into our own place. Our car got taken by the guy that initially sold it to us. Now keep in mind, we had paid over $2,000, almost $3,000 for this piece of shit Jeep that a lot of you've seen. And the guy repoed it, kept it and everything. And Jake is crying in the background, y'all, because he's been sick. But yeah, we went through that. Didn't have a vehicle. I had a baby shower coming up, and my Uncle Robert passed away the day of my baby shower. I know a lot of you are saying there is no way, and y'all saw me at the baby shower for Jake. A lot of you did, up at the Limit when it was still open, and I was having to act like I was cool and I was fine. And under pressure, I'm one hell of an actress. Mentally, inside, I was just shutting down. Then we get up to actually having Jake, which was a nightmare and a half. Screwed over by the hospital, screwed over by nurses, treated like shit. Didn't get my tubes tied. They lost my paperwork. I know this sounds like random bitching, but I'm just trying to catch y'all up on what's happened. Then I get Jake home from the hospital. They had me on the cardio ward after I had him because, yet again, I tried to have a heart attack during the process of the C-section. So they put me on the cardio ward. And, of course, they didn't tell me during both C-sections. They didn't say anything of, why or anything. They put me on the cardio ward and don't tell me why. Yeah, that was all fun. But I get Jake home. Come to find out, I left the hospital with this baby. He had no name, no social security number, nothing. They let me leave the hospital with a child. No name. That baby could have been anybody's at that point. But yeah, we got that all taken care of and straightened out, luckily. But God, what a nightmare. I had to deal with, yet again, no pain medicine. I had pain medicine for one prescription. After that, I roughed it. So, and I would have not have had the money for the pain medicine to begin with if our church would not have come to the rescue and helped us out. So, yeah, there's that. But actually, things have gotten a bit better. This is the good part. This is all the bad catching you up to what is going on now. Yes, I've had so far this year about 6 friends pass away so far. And I'm coming to realize that with age, I'm probably going to deal with this more often. Death has been a huge part of my life. I have dealt with death a lot in my life. Most people don't deal with death as much as I do, but then again, I do know a lot of people, so I'm going to deal with it more, I guess. I deal with a lot of things through humor. That's how I cope. That's how I function. That's who I am. And really, I don't know any other way to function at this point. I mean, I don't know. Sorry about that. But, yeah. I've been doing a lot with my groups and my pages. I recently was able to hook up with my buddy K-Bar, who does the Bearded Clam show. It's online radio for metalradio.com. Yes, that's a little bit of promo whoring there, but while we're in the mood for promo whoring, I'm doing Live Fast Die Pretty Radio, as a lot of you know. I started up Deadly Vintage. DGD is still going strong, and as long as I can keep it going, I will. I mean, at this point, I'm going to have a donation shoot in order for me to expand DGD, because there is a lot of people that I promote for free. And these are people that I want them to get a shot. I want them to get a break. I have right now a huge ass waiting list for people that I want to put on my website. just to promote them and get them out there. Because I think everybody's talented in one way or another, that they have gifts and that they don't get a break. I would love it if I was one of those people that gave them a break. You know, I would love that. But I'm totally into the promoting thing. A lot of you know that, so no need to go into detail there. God, I'm rambling. I'm trying not to have this, like, back sound on my mic. This is just one of my mics that sucks. But, what else? What else can I throw out there? I'm still doing the club thing, as far as I love going and taking people's pictures. It's not, like, professional. You know, I don't look at me going to clubs, unless it's a band thing. I don't look at me going to clubs and doing it professionally. I just love going and taking pictures of people. It's fun. Hack. Sorry. I'm sorry I act like a goof on camera, because, man, I absolutely cannot stand being on camera. I don't like it. But with all the emails, messages I get, this is easier for me to update people on what's happened in my life. Oh my God, this video is 21 minutes long. So I'm going to have to cut this down. I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit here, because god damn, this is fucking long. Anyway, that's basically the update for now. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna be having guests on Live Fast Die Pretty. Some, you know, random guests. Hopefully we can get it to where I've got it up on a website eventually. Right now I'm just doing it through SoundCloud, because I got so much going on. But if you want the SoundCloud account, mine, just look on my Facebook page or in the music area and you'll see SoundCloud, and go to it. But like I said, Bearded Clam Show, y'all check it out. Metal Radio. K-Bar, he's in my friends list. He's also with the band Unclean. You haven't heard him, check him out. God, I'm so promo whoring right now. It's a habit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I've also been sick too. I'm still fucking sick. Anywho, I'm gonna cut this out now, so see you later.